UFC 316 just ended, and Merab Dvalishvili just dominated and humiliated Sean O'Malley in the rematch for the bantamweight championship. When is the UFC going to learn their lesson? These undeserved title shots just aren't cutting it anymore. But this was a dominant win from Merab. He won via third round north-south choke in an incredible performance, an incredibly exciting performance as well, even though I see some fans still kind of shitting on the performance, but not as many. I feel like people have come around to Merab. But before we get into all that, okay, before we get into Tim Welch being a fraud and one judge being a fraud who scored a round for O'Malley, let's go through it round by round. Round one, Merab comes out, little bit tentative. O'Malley threw a spinning back kick to the body immediately, which told me immediately what a fraud Tim Welch is of a coach, because I knew their game plan after the first round, really the first 10 seconds. I already knew what it was going to be, but we'll get to that in a second. And then after a little bit of Merab kind of backing up, he starts pressuring. And he's pressuring O'Malley, and I'm like, oh my God, is Merab really about to go out here and strike nonstop with O'Malley and potentially get cracked? But he's pressuring O'Malley. O'Malley trips against the fence. He gets right back up. Merab gets a hold of him, trips him down. O'Malley works his way right back up, starts grabbing the fence. John Anik, of course, he has to glaze Sean O'Malley, so he's like, some minor fence grabbing there, or some borderline fence grabs there, when it was blatant fence grabs. Sean O'Malley has cheated his entire career multiple times, every fight. But anyway, they eventually break. Sean O'Malley's kind of spamming the body a little bit, but not really landing much. Merab's pressuring him, eventually gets him down, gets him up against the fence, gets him down. It's like dragging him away from the fence. He got in on like a double leg takedown and then like picked O'Malley up and kind of dumped him over, and then had him in like a seated position up against the fence, drug him away from the fence, landed some good ground and pound. Merab clearly won the first round. Second round was almost entirely striking, and the commentary team started acting as if O'Malley was winning. By the way, O'Malley really landed 2 shots in this round, and one of them didn't even actually really land when you watch the replay. There was like a right hand and then a left hand. I don't remember which was which, but both of them looked like they landed clean. And when you watch the replay, Merab got his hand up and blocked it right in front of his face. So it's like Merab's hand was here and the punch came in and never actually landed to the chin of Merab. And in this round, Merab was walking him down, cracking him with big shots. At one point, cracked him with a left hand, nonstop pressuring him. There was times where Merab was like clinching up, like half-hearted takedown attempts that he wasn't actually looking for, but he was just kind of getting O'Malley thinking about it, and then he would release and start throwing hands again. And the commentary team was sucking O'Malley. Oh my God, his takedown defense is so good, man. He doesn't have his blown out back this fight. Oh my God, the momentum is turning. DC said that at the end of round 2. But anyway, Merab continued to pressure him, continued to land big shots occasionally, landed like cracked him with a big right hand at the end, towards the end of the round, and maybe had, I think, actually maybe like 2 probably legit takedown defense, but really he wasn't even actually trying. He would push O'Malley up against the fence, kind of switch to a single leg, let it go, rip to the body a little bit, and then back off, because he could already tell O'Malley was fading. Never really got clipped, never was in any trouble. He clearly won the second round. And Rogan, Anik, and DC, sometimes I'm wondering, am I watching a completely different fight than some people? They're like, yeah, man, O'Malley's takedown defense looks really good. I'm like, I'm not even seeing real takedown attempts from Merab. And while Merab dominated the second round, I'm still like, Merab, what are you doing? All you have to do is out-muscle this bum, okay? You're way stronger than him. You could easily take him down if you commit to it. I'm like, what are you doing? But he's clearly trying to be more exciting. Maybe that's the UFC pressure. Maybe that's the fans' pressure. Maybe he knows O'Malley had nothing for him after the first round, so maybe that's why. Anyway, third round. Merab comes out again, pressuring, throwing wild winging shots. Looks for another clinch. O'Malley kind of shucks him off a little bit. They're like, oh my God, the takedown defense of O'Malley, man. He wasn't jerking off all camp, man. He was with his family. No social media. No weed. We just tight. I like weed. They're already ready to glaze him. And then Merab's like, you know what? Let me actually take him down now. Shot in on a double leg. Picked him up fireman's carry style. By the way, it was a double leg. Tim Welch wasn't expecting those in the first fight. Dumps him to the ground and then proceeds to dominate him on the ground. By the way, right before this, DC was literally at the beginning of the third round. DC was like, man, the momentum's shifting, man. The momentum's shifting. It seems like it's going in Sean's favor. I'm like, what are you watching? Merab beat O'Malley striking in the second round. And you think the tide is turning because Merab outstruck him? By the way, Merab, the entire fight, I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, instead of actually even shooting for takedowns, which he did again, half-hearted takedowns in round 2, he kept looking down, and it was getting O'Malley flustered. He was worried about the takedown nonstop, and then he would tag him on the feet. He was landing good leg kicks in the second round as well, which I didn't mention. But anyway, he gets him down in the third round, fireman's carry, takes him down, dominates him, controls him, starts landing good ground and pound knees to the chest to kind of wear out O'Malley. Eventually, DC's like, man, Sean O'Malley should just try to scramble and get to his knees because Merab's not a submission threat. And O'Malley starts scrambling to his knees. He gets up against the fence, and Merab immediately knees him in the face. He drops back down to a knee. Merab trips him down. O'Malley gets back up. He trips him down again. And essentially, you could just see O'Malley's soul leaving his body as Merab's just easily tripping him up against the fence and just muscling him down. And he's getting to his knees and he's trying to scramble. And really, he has nothing to offer. And I believe they're in Tim Welch's corner, or in O'Malley's corner. Tim Welch is right there. Merab is literally dominating him and staring over at Tim Welch while he's dominating him. Eventually starts locking up a Darce choke. It's not even on the chin. It's not tight at all. Tim Welch is probably screaming, just breathe, Suge. Just breathe, Suge. Eventually, O'Malley tries to kind of scramble a little bit, even though it's not under the chin. He goes to his back and he just locks in. Merab just tightens it up, locks in a north-south choke, which I believe is a Darce choke just from the north-south position, essentially. It's the same technique from my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a casual. And then O'Malley just taps out. In my opinion, O'Malley was already beaten before then. He was just kind of looking for a way out. Like, he could have avoided that choke. It wasn't even close to being tight at first. There was little time left, maybe 15 seconds left. O'Malley was already tired. He already knew he couldn't win. He knew he didn't have any more excuses. He said, man, I didn't jerk off all camp, man. What the hell? I didn't smoke any weed, man. No social media, man. I didn't dye my hair, man, for Pride Month, man. And Merab finishes him with a north-south choke. Merab literally finished O'Malley from the 69 position, okay, in honor of Pride Month, okay? And that's it, man. O'Malley got dominated. I can't imagine people acting like, oh, man, O'Malley really improved. No, he didn't. Merab treated him like a little bitch. And I didn't even mention yet, at the end of the first round, when I was like, okay, Merab is clearly going to win this fight, I was worried, like maybe he throw it. I was kind of nervous, like he's going to try to throw it away by taunting or acting a little bit crazy or being overconfident. At the end of the first round, where O'Malley got out-grappled and beaten up and pushed backwards the entire round, Sean O'Malley runs to the corner, and Tim Welch like, man, perfect round, man, absolutely. Okay, he didn't say flawless, but someone else said that in chat. But that's essentially what he was doing. He was like, man, that was a flawless round, man, absolutely perfect, bro. That was sweet, man. You got taken down and beaten up the entire round. You got beaten up on the feet. And Tim Welch is a clown of a coach. Okay, he's the Edmund Tarverdian of 2025. I'll tell you this right now. The entire game plan coming into this fight for Sean O'Malley and Tim Welch, other than make a bunch of excuses about his torn labia, and all this and that, and the bright lights at the Sphere had me. I couldn't land my big counter shots because of the lights at the Sphere. The entire game plan from these bums was, oh man, we landed a teep kick in the 5th round. We got a participation trophy for a teep kick in the 5th round. Let's just spam body shots the entire fight. That's all they did. That's all O'Malley did was spam body shots, teep kicks, and punches to the body. And they thought that was going to win them the fight. They really thought that was going to win them the fight. And some dumbass judge actually gave O'Malley round 2. Eric Colin. That dude deserves to be fired. But the commentary team was acting as if O'Malley won the second round. That, man, the tag's turning. And then DC did say, well, I think that was O'Malley a good round, but I think Merab still got it. But then he's like, yeah, the momentum was definitely favoring O'Malley. Because Merab was just like shooting like fake takedowns to get O'Malley thinking about it and then letting go and just ripping him up with the body shots and just spamming upstairs as well with the sloppiest strikes that I've ever seen, but they were landing. He was cracking O'Malley in the second round. It's not even up for debate. It's not, oh, it was close, it was competitive. O'Malley didn't really land shit, and Merab was cracking him. And, you know, I've said this a million times, guys. When is the UFC going to learn? When is the UFC going to learn? And when is the fan base going to learn to really revolt against these undeserved title shots? Every single time we get a egregious, undeserved title shot, what happens? They lose and they get dominated. Colby Covington, Leon Edwards. Colby Covington, egregious, undeserved title shot. Domination, loss, boring fight as well. Sean Strickland against Dricus du Plessis, 2. Boring ass undeserved title shot where Sean Strickland got dominated for 5 rounds and refused to fight the entire fight. Now we have Sean O'Malley, who lost at UFC Noche in September, got dominated, damn near 50-45, had 1 teep kick in the 5th round. He sat out while Merab defended his belt against Umar Nurmagomedov, cried about his, oh, my hip, my neck, my back. Oh my God, my leg, my brittle legs. Gets an undeserved immediate rematch. And where did that get him? He got dominated. There was no reason to make this fight. By the way, the UFC and Sean O'Malley ruined Sean O'Malley's career. Now, granted, you have to take that with a grain of salt when I say they ruined his career, because 1 win and they'll give him another undeserved title shot. But where does O'Malley go now? He's got back-to-back dominant losses to the current champion, one of those being a finish. I guess they're going to pray that Corey Sandhagen, who's undeserving of a title shot as well, beats Merab, and then maybe O'Malley gets 1 win, and then they'll give O'Malley another title shot, because O'Malley's an industry plant. He brutally robbed Piotr Jan. He fluked a win over Aljamain Sterling in an early stoppage where Aljamain Sterling was set up for failure by the UFC. Then he gets a layup title defense against Marlon Vera. And then he finally has to fight Merab, who had earned a title shot for a while, gets dominated so badly that then he needs an immediate rematch to get north-south choked. When are people going to learn? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Undeserved title shot after undeserved title shot after undeserved title shot. All for them to go out there and not fight or not even try to win, really. Or barely have a chance. I'm not going to say O'Malley didn't try. But you could tell, man. You could really tell, especially in that 2nd round, when he's getting walked down and beaten up. Like, you could see the look on his face. It was like, man, it's almost over, Suge. It's almost over, Suge. Just don't cry, Suge. Just calm down, Suge. It's going to be over soon, Suge. That's Tim Welch, after the 1st round, said it was perfect, man. It's a perfect round from you, Suge. You got dominated, but it was a perfect round. Their entire strategy was let's spam body shots because we landed 1 teep kick in the 5th round of the last fight. That was their entire game plan. I don't know. I really don't know what to say. Merab, let's talk about Merab for a second. I already said he's the GOAT bantamweight. I seen Ariel Helwani. I didn't listen to this because I don't really care about Ariel Helwani's post-fight thoughts. I seen Ariel was like, man, Merab is getting into TJ Dillashaw and Dominic Cruz territory. When are people going to learn title defenses or title fights are not your entire legacy? Look at Merab's resume before the title. That counts as well. Merab is the greatest bantamweight of all time, and beating industry plant Sean O'Malley doesn't get him any closer to bantamweight GOAT. He's already there. He's already far surpassed TJ Dillashaw, the bum cheater who ended Hendon Barral's career by using EPO. He's already surpassed him. Beating O'Malley, okay, he dominated him, finished him, which I think is impressive. Merab got a finish. By the way, DC right before the finish. I think I already said this. But it's like, man, O'Malley just needs to go to his knees instead of locking up closed guard from the bottom. He's like, I mean, he needs to go to his knees because Merab doesn't have a submission threat. Well, that didn't age very well. Merab is still improving at an advanced age. He's not young. I think he's like 34, maybe 35. Merab is improving. He's adding submission threats to his game. Think about how dangerous Merab would be if he had Aljo level of submission threats. Aljamain Sterling. By the way, oh my God, that reminds me, the worst part of the commentary. Sean O'Malley's laying on his back, breathing heavy as per Tim Welch's instructions. And Joe Rogan's like, yeah, man, if it was something like, yeah, man, if Sean O'Malley had the jiu-jitsu of Charles Oliveira, Merab could be in trouble here. That's the best Joe Rogan's brain dead ass has to offer. If he had Sean O'Malley's jiu-jitsu or he had Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu, man, this would be a real threat here. Well, he doesn't. He's never shown that. O'Malley is one of the biggest industry plants in all the UFC. And it's an embarrassment. Anik was sucking him all broadcast. They showed a little interview clip. He's like, man, that Merab fight was your first real loss, man. Dude got shucked to the ground by Marlon Chito Vera. Brutally flash KO'd multiple times and then stretchered out of the cage with no serious injuries. I don't care that then he won a rematch years later. He lost that fight. Clear as day. But shout out to Merab for being the bantamweight GOAT. Shout out to Merab for getting the finish against Sean O'Malley. Shout out to Merab for putting on an amazing and exciting performance. By the way, any fan out there calling Merab a boring fighter, you are a casual bitch. Stop watching the sport. If you did not enjoy Merab versus O'Malley 2, if you did not enjoy Merab versus Umar Nurmagomedov, by the way, probably the best title fight of the year, if not second to Bilal versus JDM. If you didn't enjoy that, you were a casual, okay? If you didn't enjoy Merab versus O'Malley 1, you were a casual. If you didn't enjoy Merab versus Henry Cejudo, you were a casual. Merab is not boring. He was never boring. The Jose Aldo fight, okay, you could dislike that fight. But like it's crazy you have these casuals that are like, yeah, man, I like Sean O'Malley. He smokes weed and he's got cornrows and man, he's cool, man. He's got pink shorts and he's edgy. And look at his tattoos, man. Merab's so boring. O'Malley's a sniper. Merab walked him down like his bitch and battered him on the feet. When he wanted to, he picked him up and took him to the ground, dumped him to the ground, and then he submitted him. He submitted him. And when I was watching my live stream, I'm like, oh, O'Malley's ready to quit. He's going to get finished this round. I said, go watch my live stream. Go watch the third round with like a minute left. I'm like, oh, yeah, O'Malley might get finished. He's going to get finished, man. He's looking like he's taking these deep breaths. Okay, I said breaths there, kind of. And he's like, oh, yeah, man. Tim, I'm breathing, man. Just breathe. Tim was like, it's almost over. It's almost over. And then Merab is in the 69 position, locking up the Darce choke, locking up the north-south choke. And I heard Tim Welch say, man, it's almost over, Shug. You're a warrior, Shug. Just keep breathing, Shug. And then O'Malley couldn't breathe anymore, so then he tapped out frantically. Great win from Merab. Sean O'Malley, where does he go from here? I don't know. The UFC ruined his career. Now he has back-to-back losses, dominant losses to the current champion. They will try to push him back into an undeserved title shot probably by the end of the year or maybe early next year. They should have just gave him a layup after the first loss to Merab. He could have beat like a Rob Font or something. And then they could have thrown him back into the title picture. But now instead, I guess they got to pray someone beats Merab and O'Malley gets a bummy win. And then they can throw him back into a title shot. By the way, they immediately panned to Corey Sandhagen during Merab's post-fight interview. Corey Sandhagen's on a one-fight win streak. You guys aren't going to want to hear this. The true number one contender at bantamweight is either Petr Yan to get the rematch. If O'Malley can get a rematch after getting dominated, Yan can't get a rematch after having a more competitive domination loss and then getting multiple wins afterwards, and the first loss was years ago. But if it's not Petr Yan, it should be Mario Batista. I'm going to talk about that more on my post-fight, my full card post-fight for UFC 316. But his wrestling has always been garbage. Yan was taking him down with ease, but he wasn't prioritizing any damage. O'Malley has good striking. He has elusive movement. But had he not been gifted up the rankings, had he not been given a diminished Aljamain Sterling, intentionally diminished Aljamain Sterling, he would have never been champion. I would make the argument he would have never even been top 5. And I know you could say, oh, he beat Marlon Vera in a gifted title defense against a Marlon Vera who's looked like shit for years now. Same guy that he got dominated by many years ago, back in 2020. O'Malley's career is over. They'll probably send him up to 45, maybe give him a bum there, which I don't even know who they're going to pull out. I don't even know if he can beat any of those guys at 45, and then probably try to throw him into another title shot. If it's up to me, I book Merab Dvalishvili versus Mario Batista next. Maybe Petr Yan versus Umar. Petr Yan versus Marcus McGee is rumored. I don't think it's 100% official yet. We don't know really what's going on. It really should be Yan Sandhagen, maybe for number one contender. And then Mario Batista should get the shot. But Mario Batista didn't even get a title, didn't even get a post-fight interview, so I doubt he's going to get a title shot. But it's just egregious, man. It's just egregious. These undeserved title shots, guys who literally never win because they get it under. You notice that. I know I already mentioned it. You get an undeserved title shot, you don't win, you usually get dominated. And then the guys who are overlooked for years, who go on long winning streaks and deserve title shots, what usually happens in those fights? They usually win because they actually have put on a long win streak and shown their skills over a long period of time to earn their spots instead of being gifted like an industry plant like Sean O'Malley. By the way, Tim Welch was crying at the end. You could see it. He put his head down on the side of the cage and he was just crying and weeping. He is the Edmund Tarverdian of 2025. They came in with a body shot heavy game plan, and instead O'Malley got ragdolled. And it's hilarious. I don't want to make this video too long. It's hilarious that O'Malley had all these excuses. He did better at UFC Noche where he had his torn labia. Yes, I'm saying that intentionally. He had his, oh, my hip's a problem, and this is a problem, and that's a problem, and the lights were too bright, and I didn't expect double leg takedowns. I don't think Tim Welch anticipated a submission. It's like, is this supposed to be MMA? Merab gets it done. He's the GOAT of 135. I would like to see him fight Mario Batista next. Corey Sandhagen should not be getting a title shot. Let me know what you guys thought of the main event down in the comments. I'll do a full card post-fight for 316 shortly. It'll be linked down in the description as soon as it's done. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, and I'll see you next time.